Hello everybody, it's Herbert aka the IT guy here again with another video for you. Today we're going to go over something called password managers and whether you should buy a license for one or whether you should even consider getting one of those free versions when you have something like a Mozilla Firefox or a Google Chrome browser that can do just the same. So let's dive straight into it. So I have picked out two of the most common, actually the ones that I encountered the most, two of the most common password managers, which is LastPass and Dashlane. And I just wanted to compare the two just on their websites, just compare the two with something like Google Chrome. So when you look at LastPass, so what do we get for a free account? Well, we get an account for one user. We get all of the nice password things, securing the password vault, access on all devices. It also has the autofill, password generator, and the one-to-one sharing. So the one-to-one sharing actually means that you can share your passwords with each other. That is something that you cannot do with something like Google Chrome or Firefox. So that's already a win for LastPass. The one-to-many sharing, the difference here is that you can actually easily share things with multiple people at once, whereas one-to-one sharing, you actually have to do it one by one. So I looked it up a little bit, and to have this enabled, both parties do need LastPass, so it's not like you can send over a password to them. That will be very insecure. What actually happens is that LastPass gives the other user access to the password in an encrypted version as long as you give them that permission. So that's a good thing about LastPass, and I really like that about them. So they also have shared folders, but for that you will need the Families edition. So shared folders is just a safe place to store things in, and that's only available in the family version. So that actually means that you can share files and share passwords and stuff like that in a secure folder. So that's also a plus. But again, this is for families, and to be honest, you know, the prices are pretty good. You know, you get for €4 over here. So we have €4 for 6 users. If you have a family, if you have a big family and you want to share some passwords with each other, if you're like the administrator of all the family passwords and all the family computer accounts, then this could be a good thing for you, to be honest, because you can easily share the passwords and you can easily secure everything without having to give out all the passwords. So that's always a good thing, right? And so for security, we have the security dashboard, of course, which is included for every account. The free version does not have dark web monitoring, and that actually means that you're gonna have breach detections. And to be honest, this already exists. So Firefox also has this monitor.firefox.com. You can enter your email address. There's also something called haveibeenpwned.com, and that also does pretty much the same. So this is not really something that you should have to pay for. It already exists, and yeah, I wouldn't pay for it because it's free already. So it all contains multi-factor authentication, but this is one I like a lot, and this is not included in Firefox, but it is included in something like Google Chrome. For example, the advanced multi-factor authentication, you can actually use something like this over here. You can actually use a Trezor, or this is a Ledger wallet, which are actually cryptocurrency hardware wallets, but you can also use them as U2F devices, and U2F is actually a hardware multi-factor authentication. So if you can secure your passwords using that, that's always a plus for me. And that's not included in the free version. It's not included in Firefox, but it is included in Google Chrome. So you can secure your Chrome browser, your Google account, actually using one of those hardware keys, and that is so much more secure than having something like Authy or Google Authenticator for your two-factor authentication, and definitely more secure than using SMS protection or anything like that. So it also has this thing called emergency access. So emergency access is something that will give people access to your account when in dire need. So that's also included when you have the paid versions. So additional features, you're gonna get the priority tech support, of course, and LastPass for applications is something that you will have in only in Windows. So if you have an application like, let's say, you work with Battle.net or Steam, those applications, you can actually save your password and username in LastPass, and it will remember it and autofill it when it pops up. So we have 1 GB of encrypted file storage also included in the paid versions, and of course these two are exclusive to the family version. So that's a little bit of an overview of LastPass. Let's go over to Dashlane and see what they have. So there's unfortunately not a lot of info over here. So we do have two-factor authentication, but I couldn't really find any information about whether or not it's hardware based, and I think it isn't. So it also has this form and payment autofill. This is also included in so save and autofill password. This is also included in LastPass. I found this article over here, and it is not included in Firefox if you're not in the US apparently. So the address autofill feature appears to only be available in English US Firefox releases and only for users located in the US. So for me that doesn't work because I'm of course based in Europe. I live in Belgium, and the thing is, this is really some of those handy features that you kind of must have, and I do miss it on Firefox. I would love to see it integrated into my Firefox browser because I love Firefox. It's one of my favorite browsers of all time, and it is included in Google Chrome. However, I'm more of a Firefox fanboy. I like Firefox a bit more than Google Chrome, but that's just personal taste. But hey, if I do want to use Firefox, I can also use something like LastPass or Dashlane, and that will give me the ability to have those form autofills. So we can securely share up to 5 accounts, just the same as we could with LastPass, but this one is limited to 5 accounts. We have personalized security alerts, probably something like hey, somebody hacked into your account. I don't think that should be a feature actually. Two-factor authentication, which actually again doesn't say whether or not it has hardware multi-factor authentication capabilities. Dashlane is a little bit less feature rich than LastPass is, so Dashlane I wouldn't recommend anything. So I wouldn't recommend Dashlane over LastPass. I would rather recommend LastPass over Dashlane. But Dashlane, let me see here. So Dashlane does have access to unlimited devices. And when we go over to family, it's $4.99 per month and up to 5 people. LastPass has 6 people. Dashlane has none of the features actually, except for the fact that they do have a built-in VPN, and this is something that LastPass is missing. So looking at that, having a VPN is also a very good plus. But of course, we're not looking at VPNs here. We're looking at password managers, and to be honest, you know, having a VPN is a good thing. You know, it's a lot more secure than having a direct connection, of course, although that is debatable in some cases. But still, you know, you can get a lot cheaper pricing in LastPass than you get in Dashlane. And to sum it all up, actually, all of those neat features, you're actually paying for a few features that you can get in Google Chrome. And those features are the sharing of data. You also have this shared folder that you have, but again, if you're working with something like Google Chrome, you have a Google account and you can have 15 gigabytes of free cloud storage, which you can share with your family. So I don't really see how this is adding value. I think that LastPass, you know, the pricing is okay. If it would have been like 10 euros per month, that would have been way too much for my personal opinion. But for 4 euros per month, and you have this nice, you know, it is a nice piece of software, and you don't have to forget that they put a lot of effort into making this technology. It does have encryption, but again, this is not something special. It does it is already integrated in something like Google Chrome. It is already integrated in something like Firefox, although Google Chrome is probably a little bit more secure because it has the hardware key capabilities, and that's something that I really like about it. So I would actually just suggest that people who don't want any of these features, like you don't want to share files, you don't want to use one-to-one share, one-to-many sharing, you don't want to have these shared folders, you don't want to pay for them at least, I would suggest you would stick to something like Google Chrome and don't use a password manager, because a password manager, of course, it's not that expensive, but still, why would you pay for something if you can get it for free? And why would you pay for features that you're not going to use? So that's my personal advice to you. Password managers, not a big fan of them. I don't like the fact that you have to pay for storing your passwords somewhere else, because you can just as well do it for free with something like Firefox or Google Chrome, or even Brave Browser. Brave Browser, I covered that in a video. They fixed their sync this year, so there was a problem with their synchronization, but Brave Browser, difference between Brave Browser and Google Chrome is that you can actually store your password or your secret phrase, as they call it. So it's actually 24 words, I believe, randomly generated, and they are stored in a file, and so that's actually your password, and there is no central account that can be hacked, of course, unless they guess all of the 24 words of your secret phrase. So that's the only key that can access all your passwords. It's not like Brave Browser has access to all of your data. Google claims they don't have access to all of your data as well, but Brave Browser, we know that it doesn't, because it works on blockchain technology, and there's only one way to access your private account, and that's with your private keys. So when it comes to security and privacy, Brave Browser is probably the better choice, although there's no possibility in actually resetting your password or anything like that. If you lose your keys, you're done. You have to start over again. If you lose your keys, you can't reset your password. You just have to create a new account, as we call it, or a new sync wallet, as they call it in Brave Browser, and you'll have to start all over again, and all your passwords, bookmarks, and saved logins, they will all be gone. So I think that's it for me, guys. I think that I covered pretty much what I wanted to cover. I don't know if this was a helpful video to you guys, but this is just my honest opinion. Again, from my honest opinion, I don't think that these password managers have any value really, other than the fact that the features that they added are these one-to-one sharing of passwords, and this unlimited shared folders. There are a few features that are included, but I don't think that they are worth the money unless you actually really want them. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, hit that thumbs up, and if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.